Okay, fish on. You can see, you know, this is the last place I believe I fished on video anyways. The channel's closed up a bit, and so it's a ton deeper and also a ton more dangerous. Oh, there it goes. That one just flipped off while I have this collapsible net and I was trying to get it out so I could net it. That's all right. Hefe, come here. It flipped off on the edge of the ice. Sorry, I know this is crap, but I wasn't really ready to catch anything. I was gonna do a big intro and all that, but we've been here before. It's been super cold recently, and right in between, you see there's ice has come in off the banks. So there's this big chute through the middle. It's really more of a run. It's kind of consistently moving water through, but on the bottom it's slow. It's kind of a pool run, you might say. Hefe, come here, bud. If you go in, though, much deeper than what we are, we're on this thicker ice here, that's up to your head. I think that might be over my head. I think it's 5 or 6 feet deep. And I see a trout at the bottom of it. Hefe, come here. It's shallower down there, so there's a way out. But anyways, narrow, deep, fast moving water. That fish came out right on the edge of the ice, which is where I'm guessing a lot of them are gonna be. I have a mop fly, which I don't usually tie on, but I did last time I was fishing in desperation. But it took that one. It took the old wet carrot. I won't give you too good of a look at that because I haven't patented that name quite yet. Anyways, more in a minute, maybe in a second. I may have figured something out. We'll see. Again, it's just me filming myself. Hefe, get out of there! With a iPhone. Well, yeah, cell phone is what I meant to say. There's some ice busting off. It's just barely above freezing now. Hefe, get out of there! Hefe hasn't fallen into 5 feet of ice water, so he doesn't know not to. So another wild brown, about the same size as the previous one. Oh shoot, and I'm breaking through the water here, which actually might be good, because look, now I have a live well, and the water goes all the way out into that main channel. So what I did was I took that mop fly off. I didn't feel like I was getting, I mean, it was going down eventually, but I think my tippet was too thick because my line was, because I was trying to pull my cider line in, the fatter part of the leader. So I put on about another 18 inches of 5X, and the first drift through I got a hit, second drift through I got this guy. So I'm gonna slide him out over the edge of the ice. Hefe, stay. Sorry, hey, Chetco, come here. Sorry for that rough release, but I didn't know what Hefe was gonna do. But he's fine. Hefe, come here. Their metabolisms are low this time of the year because everything's frozen. Clean the camera off. And now the ice is all wet because I just kind of broke the seal on the surface ice. Another option is to break this out a little more, and then I can kick them out under that ice, but I wanted to explore that with my foot first and make sure that it goes all the way through without getting caught up by a boulder. Although fish need like 1.5 inches of diameter, maybe one that big, to get through anything. They don't need much room, and that would be tall, and that would be a lot because they're really narrow. Anyways, wild brown, that one was on the white carrot. And I didn't mean copyrighted. You can't really copyright flies. Down to 2 Euro-nymphs. Wet carrot variations, 1 green, 1 orange. Orange has been doing the best. Okay, this was my very next cast through. And this one took the lime wet carrot. Whoops. Another wild brownie. Sorry, trying to manage a whole bunch of things. Hey, Hefe! A little bit smaller, but wild. Beautiful in every way. Just a minute, let me see if I can tuck this in my... Let me see if I can tuck the camera. Well, whatever, here, we'll try this. If it doesn't work, sorry. And I know there's equipment to go to do all this better, which I have. Well, although right now it's in a box somewhere. So I let him go in the live pool. I stuck my foot under there a ways, and there's a break between the two layers of ice, and it gets out into that active channel just off to my left. And there's a bunch of boulders right below here that he can slip out. So he's golden. That's 2 fish and 2 casts with 1 miss, and 3 fish and about 5 casts. So we'll see. They're schooled up in the deep water. This should be fun. Keep watching. Okay, I just wanted to go over a little bit of what I'm doing here so you can see sort of the casting a bit. I'm not casting very far. I have a 10.5 foot 3-weight, and I'm maybe casting about 15 feet out, 20 at the most probably. And I'm just trying to get as slow as a drift through this as I can, and trying to keep my sighter, that colored line, above the surface, mostly so the current doesn't tug on it so much, so I can read it better. I missed the cast before that last one. I missed a fish, and it took it super quick. I saw it flash under my line, and I just didn't get the line tight enough, quick enough. And I had about another foot of that sighter underneath the water, so trying to reduce that. You can see there's ice flows kind of cutting through every once in a while, and they're bumping my leader, kind of messing up the drift just a little. And here I'm walking downstream, kind of scooching along, and this is how I'll extend my drifts a lot. When you're fishing this way, you don't have an indicator on, so if you want to lengthen your drift, you either have to walk with it, oh god, or just, there's that hole in the ice I keep falling into, or just set up in a different spot to fish different water. Hold on, I gotta pull some line up. Sorry, I know that's probably giving you a headache watching it. Oh, Jesus. Slush. Trying to get out of the ice shelf. Anyways, so just super in close, right there, and underneath that shelf is where the currents swirl around. There's also a boulder right under there. You can see it, I'm thinking, without polarizers even. It's dark enough. And there's a school of fish in the, yeah, I just saw them slide underneath. You can see where the lighter colored sand is, the depositional material we talked about last episode, which these aren't really episodes. This is not fish whispering technically anymore. It's just kind of me fishing and hunting. Although I only had a couple hours a day, I chose to not go bird hunting with the dogs. I chose to go fishing. Next set of days off, I'm gonna go hunt and probably fish. All right, so nice slow drift. I might have to put on a slightly heavier fly to get that line down a little deeper. Those swirls underneath don't just go lateral. They're not going this way. They're kind of swirling around and going up, and they're going down and swirling. A lot of times they'll even push your fly towards the surface, and you'll have no idea that that's going on unless you have a really bright fly you can see and you're paying attention. A heavier fly will help cut through those upwelling currents. I may have to do that. I can see, I don't know, a half dozen fish right on the bottom, and I see a few more every once in a while just like getting up and swimming around. I'm guessing chasing bugs maybe, or detritus that is getting pushed off through the ice that's breaking off all the shells. What is this, mid-January? If they haven't already, pretty soon there should be some early brownstones crawling up on the ice banks and snow banks and emerging out. And there's always midges, although I don't see any. It's warm enough for stuff to come off. It's almost exactly freezing. I think I saw it 32 on my truck before I got out. Anyways, those are the drifts I'm doing, and I'm gonna work up through all this water eventually, and I'll probably just keep changing fly size to get deeper or shallower. And there's fish all over. I just need to get my fly down where they are. Okay, I hope I don't, oh, there he is. Hold on. I was trying to say, I hope I don't screw this up because I want you to see him. Hey, how big that brown is. I mean, I know not like a huge, Hefe, quit, trophy brown by anyone's standards, but for this river, that is a huge, healthy brown. Especially since I just got done spawning like 2 months ago. And what I did was, he took the orange wet carrot, I put on a bigger carrot. And also I put the carrot on as my dropper fly. And then I put the green one on as the point, which is the deeper one. Will end up being the deeper one. I forgot my forceps in the car. I usually keep them on my waders. So this time I left them in my fishing bag, which I eliminated because I had to hike a little ways. And I didn't want to break it. Anyways, just a beautiful wild brownie. And he was in deeper, faster water up in that fast part of the pool. Hefe, come here. You like to test your luck, don't you? All right, so, whoa, sorry, blocked the lens. Deeper, faster water, bigger fly. That was a 5/32 inch bead, but it's one of those teardrop tungsten beads. Competitive angler and tactical fly fishing both have these beads. I got these from Tactical Fly Fishing, Devin Olson, just to try them out. You can actually put them on straight shank hooks and they'll flip the shank over so that you have like a jig hook with the hook point up, which is awesome for these kind of streams that kind of have mostly clean rocks, big boulders and stuff where you're dragging the bottom. You tend to snag up less in any river. You'll still catch moss and algae and that kind of stuff, but anyways, teardrop hooks, it's a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier than a normal slotted or countersunk tungsten bead. I added more weight and I got down, and it was 2 or 3 casts later I got that big boy. Actually it was a girl, female, out in that fast deep water. We're gonna keep at it, hopefully it continues. All right, I always like a little bit of ecology in most things that I do and film. So you've noticed that I kept breaking through up over there, making my live well. And you'll notice where that is. That's right next to the bank where there are dark rocks, being darker than what's around them. So, and these are all stacked up at one time. It looked like they wanted to channelize this section. They're soaking up heat, and that heat, quote unquote, is just warm enough to weaken up that ice on the edge. This happens on lakes too this time of the year, right? Ice fishermen have seen the banks go out before the middle does. And that's perfectly good ice in the left third, but the farthest part of the screen, now in the middle, that's knee-deep water, believe it or not. And it's weaker ice because it's cold out there in the middle, but warm out there on the edges. Okay, the sun has set, and I was just kind of walking my line back. Hefe no. And I'm up on that man-made kind of pile of rocks. And I hooked up with it. Oh shit. Sorry, decent brown. That's thigh deep water next to the rocks, not knee deep. So that surprised me. But look at this, the sun's set. I was thinking of calling it a day when this brownie came my way. Hefe, get out of there, bud. Good boy. So, my flash turned on, sorry. It's a 5/64 inch bead stonefly nymph. I went a little heavier and deeper for the head of that pool where it's deep and fast. And now it's all twisted up. There we go. And we found another nice wild brownie. A kiss and a goodbye. Shit. Hey, Hefe, quit. Not the smoothest release, but I'm not walking out on the edge of that because I'll go in and I'm not sure if I'd get out of there. Pretty sure I can get out of this thigh deep water next to shore. but not that over my head deep water. So another wild brownie caught and released. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. That what you're seeing there is the steam coming off my hands. Digging it. Middle of January and catching more fish than my dad caught ice fishing this morning. Okay, in summary, summarization here is it's never too cold to catch fish on a fly rod, ever. I mean, the temperature is, well, now below freezing. The sun is set, but I still managed to pull one out as I was walking out after the sun set. Find open water. It's going to be deeper. Don't push the edge yourself because you could die. So just kind of stay back. Even if you bust through, at least you're close to the rocks. And it's still cold, but it's fun. Just keep changing stuff up. I fished for about an hour, landed, I don't know, I didn't really count. Did you guys? I'll know after I put this together, but right now I am unaware of my number of fish. But I believe it to be around 6 landed and 2 to 3 missed. Which isn't bad, not bad. Just kept going deeper and thinner with the line, got through, and it seemed like just changing my fly was a big help. I don't know if I had to actually go too much heavier, but going heavier did help a little, so that was kind of nice. Keep at it, guys and gals, and whatever. Just if you're out on the water, go out all year. My drag is screwed on that, so cheap Chinese stuff is cheap Chinese stuff. But it was cheap. It's been a good day. I'm glad I got out just for a couple hours, well, an hour. Got out of the house for a couple hours. And it is good to be out here. You guys keep getting outdoors, keep appreciating the outdoors, and please don't destroy the outdoors. And we'll be happy. If that's not cute, I don't know